Even, of course, you're going to be challenged. You're going to go to many, many meetings and people are going to say no to you. But for me, each time I hear no, I'm like, I'm one notch closer to a yes. Because if there's anything in this life that gets you through from A to B, it is the ability to be persistent. But it can be a minus, because when I get obsessed with something, it's like I'm not letting go of this thing until this thing is done. So you totally find yourself totally engrossed in trying to achieve that particular thing.
The visionaries, the leaders, the titans, the game changers, those who embolden Africa. Abuda is a Nigerian powerhouse media mogul who has been described by Forbes as Africa's most successful woman. Following the success of a production company, EbonyLife TV, Mo has worked hard to create a more positive narrative around Africa and has been rated as one of the 25 most powerful women in global television. This is Mo's top 6 tips on how to become a successful entrepreneur. Number 1, be persistent. I plan to write a book next year. The book is going to be called Persistence. Because if there's anything in this life that gets you through from A to B, it is the ability to be persistent over a prolonged period of time. So no matter what it is that you want to achieve in your lives, if you are persistently seeking ways to achieve it, you will. But I think when people say they have failed, this is my theory, by the way, it's because they have given up. Number 2, you will get a yes.
Even, of course, you're going to be challenged. You're going to go to many, many meetings and people are going to say no to you. But for me, each time I hear no, I'm like, I'm one notch closer to a yes. Because I totally believe in the law of averages. Everybody cannot say no. At some point, you're going to get to that yes. Is that yes going to help me break even that month? Am I going to be able to pay my salaries that month? At some point, you have to understand that you can't go into business thinking that you're going to make a huge profit as soon as you set up that business. That business has to grow. You're going to have to look at the fact that you may not be able to take extensive holidays, or you may not be able to do all the things you could even do whilst you are fully employed. What are the sacrifices that you're ready to make that business work? Because sometimes we're not ready for the sacrifice. You want to continue living the life that you led when you were being paid 9 to 5 and there was a big company car and there was this and there was the other. You may have to just sort of take a step back to see what those things are that you're going to have to just say, well, I can't do that for now.
Number 3, have a to-do list.
I sort of wake up every day and I have this to-do list. And I always divide my to-do list into various aspects. I've got my personal to-do list, I've got my EbonyLife to-do list, I've got my Vic Lawrence, which is my consulting firm to-do list, I've got my friends to-do list, I've got my children's to-do list, I've got my mom's to-do list, because you're totally sort of like focused on one particular thing. And I get very obsessive with the things that I do. But I also think obsession can be a plus, but it can be a minus. Because when I get obsessed with something, it's like I'm not letting go of this thing until this thing is done. So you totally find yourself totally engrossed in trying to achieve that particular thing.
Number 4, be tenacious.
The thing is that I think that, like every other African woman, I don't think there's anything special about me. I think that I've worked pretty hard all my life. No special connections. You work hard, it's the grace of God, and you just have to be tenacious about the opportunities that are out there. And I call Africa the brand opportunity. There's just so many opportunities in Africa that it's really about how you find what it is that you're passionate about and create that.
Number 5, don't do everything yourself.
I think one key takeaway for anyone is never try to do everything yourself. Always look for partners. It's better to own 5–10% of something than 100% of a great idea that never happens. So all those wonderful ideas of setting up the hotel and doing the HR consultancy firm were with partners.
Number 6, build a great team.
And okay, now I've got the studio, right? Now, so I had enough money to pay for the studio, I had a sponsor, but I still had to produce the show, right? I had no staff, so I had to go out and look for the team. The team is very, very important. Never ever think you can do it alone. It is not possible. It's important that you build your team and you play the significant role that you can play. Whatever your purpose, whatever your passion is, do that. And let those that are specialists in other things come in to be a part of that team. As you can see, whatever Katrina's doing is not what Val's doing. They all play different roles in the organization to get things done.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you can become a successful entrepreneur and leader. Thank you for joining us on this episode. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us on our Instagram page. See you next time on Embolden Africa.